Today we are talking Black Bolt and White Flare. With only 1 week from release, this set is probably going to be one of the most fun set to open of the year. And that is because it will have all of the 156 Unova Gen 5 Pokemon as either IR or an SIR in the set. It really reminds me of Crown Zenith as the last specialty set of the Sword and Shield era, and as Black Ball and White Flare is the last specialty set of the Scarlet and Violet era. I really think that this set is gonna perform really well as a sealed product investment in the long term. But there is a different perspective that you should be paying attention to, because the set is releasing 8 months after a bull market. You may want to put a little more thought into putting a lot of money when it comes to investing in this product, because I believe that it's not as a strong set as many make it out to be. So in this video, I'm going to share my perspective on Black Ball and White Flare, what I'm doing personally for my collection, my investing of the set, long-term and mid-term, and hopefully it gives you a better understanding and a better idea of what you can do with your investing or collecting goals. So let's dive into it. All right, so here's the Black Bolt Elite Trainer box, and this box is going right now for $113 on pre-release. Now, keep in mind that these are all pre-release prices. The set is not out yet for another week. We have about 6 days left. And so, as you can see, it started pretty high, $219, and people was already pre-ordering this on TCG Player at those prices back in May 12 for the Black Bolt Elite Trainer box. And it has come down 42% in the last 3 months. We are now at around $113 for the ETB, and we are seeing a lot of sales day after day for this ETB at this current price. Now, when we look at the booster bundle for Black Bolt, it's also doing something similar. Started pretty high, it has come down about 10%, and we are seeing a lot of sales at the current $67 price point. Now, remember that this is a specialty set. There's no booster box, so your best price point per pack will be the booster bundles. The ETV usually is best suited for long-term holding as a specialty item, since they usually don't print too much of those. The White Flare Elite Trainer box is hovering around $97, and again, it started pretty high up as well at $197 back in May, and it's now 51% down from that price, and it's seeing a lot of sales as well, 101, 144 sales for this Elite Trainer box, and it is priced lower because Zekrom is just a more popular Pokemon than Reshiram. The booster bundle for White Flare is doing something very similar as well, 2% down in the 3 months, started pretty high at 80 and is around $64, very similar to the Black Bolt one as well. But when we compare these prices to the ETB or Prismatic, and I know it's not a comparable sets at all, but it's the last Scarlet and Violet specialty set that we've gotten before Black Bolt and White Flare. So when we look at the price for the Prismatic Evolutions ETB, we can see that right before it released, it hit an all-time high of $150. Look at what happened right after release. It climbed down all the way to 110. But shortly after, not even a couple weeks after, we saw a spike increase again, all the way back up to 140. And now we're looking at maybe 4 months later, or 5, at $109 per Elite Trainer box, and that is because we saw an immense amount of product hitting Costco, a lot of product hitting local retailers, and there was a lot of emphasis on Prismatic Evolutions because of a high demand, and Pokemon Company themselves came forward with this, saying that we will print at high capacity to fulfill, or at least attempt to fulfill, the demand. So when we look at the chart for Black Ball and White Flare, all we see in the 3 months zoomed in chart is a price down. So can we assume that after release this ETB will spike up? It is very possible that we will see a little bit of a spike up, but then the price will settle. Now, this is not a Prismatic Evolution. This is not an Evolutions set. This is not a set that is as popular as Prismatic Evolution when it comes to the Pokemon. It is the Unova Gen 5 Pokemon. The majority of the hits in this set are not the nostalgic type that we got with the Prismatic Evolution. But I do believe that because it is a specialty set and the last one out of the Scarlet and Violet era, that will have a spike up in price, but it won't last a long time. Now, in my opinion, the set has a lot of depth. Like I said before, 156 IRs and IRs combined. This set will have a very similar feeling to Crown Zenith. And usually when we have the amount of IRs and SIRs that we're going to get in this set, that usually translates to a lot of enjoyment, a lot of ripping of packs for the set. But because we don't have any nostalgia, any Pokemon that will bring a lot of that part of the hobby into the set, like the hobby that grew up with the nostalgia Pokemon, with the Kanto Pokemon, with a lot of the early generation Pokemon in here, this may take a play in the price point for this set. Now, there is a lot of SIRs that are really good in this set, like a lot of these, you know, Zekrom and Genesect, and the and Splot trainer card looks great. The new rarity looks amazing. So there's a lot of really good cards in the set. But like, again, remember, they are all Gen 5 Pokemon. Now, if you're a fan of Gen 5, this is a great set. You're going to really enjoy this set. But if you're not, and if you don't really know much of Gen 5 Pokemon, didn't play the game, you're going to have a hard time enjoying the set. And I feel like a lot of the newcomers that joined when the TCG Pocket came around, when Surging Sparks came around, are really not going to find enjoyment in this set. I feel like they're going to chase for the top hits, and when they can pull it, they're much rather going to want to buy it. They're going to buy the new rarity, and then they're going to move on from the set. Now, me personally, when it comes to Black Ball and White Flare, I am going to be looking at picking up seal cases of the ETBs, both of them. But I am going to be very conservative. I'm only going to pick up maybe one or two to keep for my long-term positions of both sets, because like I said, sealed will always outperform in the long term. It doesn't matter what you do during the 3 months, 6 months, doesn't really matter. You buy sealed and you hold for 3 to 4 years, you're always going to come on top when it comes to the returns that you're going to get. So that's my plan for sealed. Now, if there are sealed display booster bundles that show up in the market, I am definitely going to go after those as well. If you guys haven't watched that video of my sealed display bundles, I believe, and I still believe to this day, that is a really good investment to have in your collection. So I'll be keeping an eye out for those when they come. When it comes to the singles, there are a lot of singles that I want out of this set. But again, my plans are to wait for the set to settle, and when the time is right, usually 6 months after the set has come out, I'll start to look at the cards that I want, and I will be purchasing them from the market if I can pull them. I will be ripping for my personal collection a couple of packs, because it does seem like it's going to have a lot of hits, and hopefully I get lucky and get some of those new rarities. But again, if you're looking to pick up a lot of sealed products and a lot of cards right now with the pre-order pricing, in my opinion, you should wait it out until the set comes out. Once this happens, you're going to see the market do its thing. Let the market do its thing. Let the people that really want the set do its thing, and then decide what you want to do. If you really want to pick up ETBs from the market, the current market prices, then do that. But just know that those prices may fluctuate a lot in the coming weeks after the release. Especially because, like I said before, this is a Gen 5 all Unova Pokemon. If you can find boxes, bundles, or anything at MSRP, then by all means, this set is a specialty set. It doesn't have a booster box. It will perform really well in the seal department. The cards themselves, is there specific cards that you want? It does have a ton of IRs and SIRs that will be available, so you will have a lot of fun ripping it. We have already gotten rumors that there will be God packs in the English version of this set, so there is that possibility of pulling the God pack if you missed that one from Prismatic Evolutions. So yeah, super exciting times, but be very careful with what you do moving forward. I am not going too crazy in the set right out of the bat because of what I mentioned in this video. There is supposed to be a lower amount of ETBs into the market because naturally there is 2 sets coming out at the same time. Black Ball and White Flare in different SKUs, different items, different cases. So by nature, the amount of ETBs available is going to be lower. So depending on how the strength of the demand is here next week when the set comes out, we're going to know more. But depending on that, then we'll see if the ETB prices rise. But in my opinion, I don't see it. I don't think that that's going to happen. I think that they may hover in the 120 to 130, if that. And then from there, they're going to settle down. I don't see it any more than that. So the cases of 10 ETBs, I want to say 750 and below will probably be a good point for these ETBs if you're looking to pick some up. That's what I'm looking at personally for my personal collection. Again, I hope this video was helpful. I just wanted to put a little bit of my perspective into what I'm doing with the sets coming out here in a week. And hopefully this was somewhat helpful to you guys as well. And as always, if you like the video, subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below and let me know your thoughts. Like the video for more. It helps the channel. And as always, stay positive, keep your head up, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.